Today, I want to talk about how leaving a little crack open to hearing something new is so important if you are looking for any kind of transformation. If you watched or listened to my last two videos, I'm talking about stuff that seems pretty dubious on first, if it's the first time you've heard it or even the 10th time you've heard it, that nothing outside of us can can cause us to feel any particular way, nothing at all. Like that seems pretty crazy at first glance. And even for me who I believe that 100%, it still seems pretty crazy sometimes, if it when the shit's hitting the fan, it's sure looking like that's creating my feelings. So that's why, it's such a ridiculous, in a way, opposite thing that we've ever learned before, that we've just never, that we didn't grow up with, or nobody's ever told us, or it just doesn't look that way, because it's so difficult to believe, and you don't have to believe it. But if you are looking for any kind of transformation from this understanding, the key really is to leave a little crack open, right? Like, you don't have to believe it, but just say, well, if you just can tell yourself, what if it is true, right? I don't really believe it. 90% sure it's not true, but let's just keep 10% of my mind open to it. And rather than holding on to the same old stories about, but what about this? How can this be thought? How can physical symptoms be thought? How can hormones be thought? How can my husband be thought? How can somebody dying in my life be thought? How can, we can come up with any number of reasons that it can't be thought. But we can also be open to, what if it is? Right? What if it is? Maybe it is. I don't think it is, but maybe it is. And we can, when we do that and we keep that in mind, maybe it is. Let's see. Who knows? Other people seem to believe it. It seems ridiculous, but maybe it is. Right? Just keep that. If we can keep that in mind instead of going back to, but no way, my blah 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 is real, is not coming from thought, right? If we keep wanting to stick with that and we keep wanting to ask those questions, what about this? What about this? How can this be? This is an exception. If you want to keep doing that, fine, keep doing that. But that's going to keep you in the misunderstanding. It's going to keep you in the outside in way of thinking forever. And if you're having trouble with this understanding, it's probably because you're not leaving a little crack open. I don't know, maybe not, but that's my guess, just from hearing some of the questions and talking to some people. There's always that yeah but thing, but there's always that holdout thing. Just leave a crack open, that maybe that's thought too. That's all you got to do, little crack, maybe it is, and drop the story part, instead of holding on to it and saying, nope, this is definitely not thought. If you want to believe that, there has to be a little faith in this, I think, and also the seeking of evidence. But if you can just keep that 10%, maybe this really is the way it works, you may find things change. You may finally get some insights that you've been missing. You may finally get a little transformation, or maybe not. I don't know, but it's just something to consider, that I think, just from my talking to people and seeing what goes on in conversations and in discussions about this stuff, it seems to me that there's like this little holdout with some people that may just be what's keeping them back. So I think I will end it there, and talk to you guys later. Bye.